Welcome to a platform where we debate on the top stories of the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, and other leagues with the best in the world of sports. You'll also get interviews with many athletes and media talents at several basketball events, including the WNBA and college basketball. My name is Rafiq Ulazon, and this is Nothing But That Sports Talk.
Mike Conley Jr. again running that pick and roll action. Gobert going no look to Towns. How about the freshman? Alexander Walker launches. No. Flying in is Conley. Towns sidesteps, banks it in, and a foul.
What will kill you will be an offensive rebound here. Conley will swither inside. Oh my goodness, Towns! Karl Anthony-Towns!
Welcome to another episode of Nothing But That Sports Talk, and it's an emergency episode, at least from a New York Knicks standpoint, because, it's orange and blue skies, and the season hasn't even started yet. We haven't even got past training camp yet. Courtesy of a certain trade that went down as, Julius Randle's going to the Minnesota Timberwolves, along with Donte DiVincenzo, but here's a big catch. We got Karl Anthony-Towns. So, it feels like yesterday we watched Karl Anthony-Towns get drafted to Minnesota, and the Knicks had to settle for Kristaps Porzingis after getting a number three pick. Right now, we get Karl Anthony-Towns on our side, and he still has enough juice in the tank. So, what are your overall thoughts? And let everybody know what you think. Welcome aboard, first of all, Ryan.
Oh man, good. Be back. Good back at it. Good, man. I think it's a good trade. I've been actually talking about this for a long time. For it to happen since they talked about it. He's been rumored around the Knicks for the last 2-3 years, honestly, quietly. You know what I'm saying? And it took more win sometime last year into last season. It's been backled here and there. And like I said, for anybody, I don't want to sound like no prisoner of the moment. Let's get the real and everything on the table. And shout out to my man LBNY in Long Island. This is his brand. Not Long Beach, New York, but not Long Beach, California, pardon me, but Long Beach, New York, and Long Island, Strong Island with his brand. So definitely got it on there. Now that's his brand, but still a New York thing. I see with the hoodie on. Next time you got to ask me to wear that first, man. You know that. I don't want to see no more Brooklyn on here. No more Brooklyn for about 2 years. But the fact of the matter is this, that Julius Randle, I think 2-time All-Second NBA, right?
Yeah, 2-time All-Second NBA, 3-time
two-time All-Star with the Knicks, 20-plus game point scorer, 8-plus on the rebounds a game, became a way better defender under Tom Thibodeau, does a lot of more things, that more tangibles. Always was a guy that can get assists, 3.5 a game, can find other guys open. He has the skill and the talent to do that because he can dribble the ball and create and do things. He worked on his game tremendously, and trust me, God bless him. He came into the Knicks when we haven't been good for a while, but when we weren't good pretty much, right? And stayed the course and done great things with the Knicks. Got us to a postseason one time with a team that had no business probably going to the postseason the first time they went. So on and so forth. And then the last time, when he went to, they lost to, I think Miami.
Mm-hmm.
The time when he was a little banged up in that series. This year, he got hurt early, late January, whatever the case may be. But the cons to it is that Julius Randle has been actually hurt pretty much all of his career. His first season, he tore his ACL the first game and was out the whole entire year. He's had knick-knack things here and there with the Knicks as well, too. And as great as Randle's with those other things, he's ball dominant and a ball stopper. And the ball doesn't flow as much with the continuity of the guys that they have there on the team when he is there. And because he is so dynamic at facing up and post up and getting the floor and can do that more in there, if he's doubled down and tripled down, Randle will find an open guy. But for the most part, once it goes in there, that's where it stays. It goes back out once, it stays in there again. So the fact of that, and then this is the biggest thing, Rafiq, that I'm going to tell you, schematic-wise, that hurt him. When he got hurt in January, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks were, I think, the 2 seed in the East at that time. They were behind Boston. It never seemed like anybody was going to catch Boston, but at one point they were there. He gets hurt. The Knicks stay the course. The Knicks finished in the 5th seed, and they weren't that many games behind Philadelphia, where they finished in the 5th seed. Philadelphia finished in the 4th seed, right? They only dropped 3 slots. They still were a playoff team. They won a first-round series without him. Remember, they still went in the regular season and won without him. They went to the first round without him, and they won. Bogdan Bogdanovic gets hurt in that series, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell Robinson gets hurt in that series by a controversial play between him and Joel Embiid, correct?
Right.
So, and you have no Julius Randle. You beat the Sixers in the first round with a terrific player in Joel Embiid, great player, MVP in this league, and Maxey, a young sensation, right? You go to the second round. We all know the Knicks are even 20% more healthy. Because remember, they got injuries during that series. Josh Hart played his life out. He damn near got hurt the game 6. They were all fatigued game 7. Brunson ended up getting hurt the last game, fractured his hand in that game. They were hit by injury after injury after injury on top of the season, on top of the injury that they already were dealing with. Robinson, they had nothing. They lose to the Pacers, who they shouldn't have, but they made that run all without him. So now when you're a general manager and an owner and a business person, these are the things that you look into, like, hey, we did such and such with this. If we did that without it, then maybe if we do this or this. And the last key that I hit to it was, of course, again, Mitchell Robinson, of course, recovering from the injury, is not going to be there till December. So the fact that he's going to be there not till December, and Isaiah Hartenstein, God bless his soul, signed a big contract with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So your other center, of course, went to Oklahoma, and God bless him for going. I'm not a hater. God bless Hartenstein for doing so. They needed a center because Robinson's not going to be back to December, and then he's not durable, so you don't even know how long he's going to be back. So with you not knowing how long he's not even going to be back, Mike, are you going? With you not even knowing how long he's going to be back, you might as well now go and make the trade. And that's why you got Towns. Could score 20 plus a game, rebound 10, 12 plus a game, shoot the 3. You know he's one of the highest 3-point percentage shooters for a power forward center in the history of the NBA. Him in the pick and roll is going to be way more easier with Brunson. Because Brunson, if they double down for him, he could score anytime to the cup. So now if they double down, he just kick it out to Towns. That's a 3. He kick it to him out 22 feet. That's a 3. You post him up, he could hook shot, get a shot, boom, shoot the 2-point shot face up, score the basket 80+% at the free throw line. And then you gonna have Josh Hart, who is a slasher, working on his perimeter shot, can knock the perimeter shot down. Miles is gonna have a whole Miles Bridges is gonna have a whole complete open floor to work, where he can score the 3, the 2-point, dribble drive, and do whatever on the court. And then that's not even to mention you got OG Anunoby. So your starting lineup is gonna be Towns, OG, Hart,
Brunson,
Miles Bridges, and Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, you mean Mikal Bridges, but yeah.
Mikal Bridges, not Miles. Miles the other gentleman. Mikal Bridges at the 2. So you got Deuce McBride off the bench. Precious Achiuwa, here's your opportunity time to step up. You got Kate Diop, the young draft pick, 6'9", 6'10", wingspan. Here's your time. Jericho Sims, here's your time. You know what I'm saying? To prove what you want to prove and get the opportunity is there. They got enough guys where they can make it happen. The only thing, if they do want to do, to add on to the team, is they want to get a shooter to replace what Donte DiVincenzo could do, because he was the lead at doing that. And you want to go get maybe another viable big man, just a rebounder, banger, finish at the hoop type dude, like, I guess to feel comfortable just in case Precious or Jericho Sims or Kate don't develop. to what you think they should do right away. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was a great trade.
Great trade indeed. I mean, come on, man. Man, you remember the 2015 NBA draft, right? The Knicks literally tanked that season when they weren't going to make the playoffs anyway, back when they had Melo and Stat. I finished with the worst record, only drawing like the third or fourth pick in the draft. They were like a few picks shy of getting Karl Anthony-Towns. They get Kristaps Porzingis. They still end up to Kristaps Porzingis had good stats, but the Knicks were still bad. So sorry about that.
There's other thing I've got to add to it. One, Karl Anthony-Towns is a Jersey guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People's from the metropolitan area.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna come back home. He gonna be good. He gonna be comfortable. He got a good core that he going to, and he's made, on top of what we've been doing, making the Knicks a legit championship contender. The Eastern Conference has the championship Celtics. You know what they're gonna come back with, and you got the Philadelphia 76ers who are primed and ready.
After their ability, the Knicks needed something like this. They needed something like this. I just did not expect it to happen right at this minute. When they said they were doing that trade and involving Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo, I was conflicted because the hype for Karl Anthony-Towns is real, but we had to let Julius Randle go. We had to let Donte DiVincenzo go. As much as you didn't want to lose him, at the very least you get something in return. It's a John Paul Jones trade with the New York Liberty all over again, but hopefully done better.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I understand it's two different basketball leagues, but it's just that when you pull a rabbit out your hat, it's going to lead to a big charge in New York City.
I know it's gonna be tough on Julius too, though. You're right. He was just out here in Long Island. I can't. I think I was busy that day.
Yeah, they were having like a little. Yeah, he was involved like a little event for like a park opening in the Bronx, something like that.
Yeah, he was in Massapequa at the gym.
Covered it. So yeah, I do remember being at the event, and then of course, Karl Anthony-Towns not too long ago, he was at a Knicks game. So yeah.
Yeah, he did a little camp the other day in Massapequa for the kids. That was really cool. I mean, this had to be maybe like 3 weeks ago tops. So I think I was doing something. I was busy that day. I couldn't do it. I couldn't come out. But my man, be like Jeff, Hollywood Jeff. He covered media for it that day when the kids they was doing the kids. So I know he had a fixture in New York. I believe his family had moved out here and bought everything and bought a nice little place that his kids are going out here. So it's always a different transition when you get traded. Like I said, real big shout out to Julius. I really did like Julius. I've been honest when it was from last year to say that I did want this trade to happen. I never said necessarily like, oh, he got to be traded. He got to be traded like he's a bum. No, I would never say that. Never when Randle was here. Randle was a ball player. I always said that if you could get somebody better or maybe just as good or a little bit better or way better than him, then of course, you always will listen and negotiate a trade and listen about it. And they did. And, they got Karl Anthony-Towns, who's a proven player. Minnesota's got a good player too. He's going to be there with Anthony Edwards. The times when Edwards is not on the court, that'll help the Minnesota Timberwolves because now they got another proven guy that can score 20 a game and rebound and defend, distribute the ball and block shots. And they'll give him more of an opportunity to create out there because he'll be one of their best creators. Conley's good, but Conley's a little older. McDaniels is a good player, but he's a role player, and the other guy is good too. So now they got more of a help. Now they got more of a help to hopefully they got more of a help with Randle to do something.
Exactly. And getting back to the New York Knicks, I was just preaching that the Knicks need another big man to back up Mitchell Robinson. But they did more than what I need. They did not have to go this hard. But I'm glad they did. And I'm really excited for what's to come in 2025 season in the NBA. It's just a lot of excitement in the air. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
You just can't beat that. And I was just saying the New York Knicks need another power forward or center because they were like a depth in that position. But now they got it. Karl Anthony-Towns, he really completes what the Knicks are trying to build when compete for a championship. They literally have the third best odds to win a championship by like negative 350.
Who's number one? Celtics Nuggets?
Celtics said OKC, which is no surprise because OKC had a number one seed last year, and we already talked about the addition of Isaiah Hartenstein. He's gonna have a starting role for that team when you pair him up with Shea Alexandra and Chad Holmgren. OKC, they're gonna be a problem. I know they did lose the second round to Dallas, but they're gonna be a problem if they finish number one in the West. And then you get to Boston, defending champions. Yeah, over retired, but let's not forget the pedigree is still there.
Correct.
Man, I mean, I need a minute to process this because the Knicks did not have to go this hard.
No, they did. They made the right move.
I mean, they did have to go hard, but they did not have to go that hard. They did not sacrifice Donte DiVincenzo, but you know what? You had to do what you had to do in order to be relevant. So it's all good.
I'm telling you, I looked up his contract too. Hold on.
Julius Randle only had like a year left in his contract, and he wasn't signed an extension. Karl Anthony-Towns has 4 years, so the Knicks have set themselves up for long-term success to get that one elusive championship to break the half-century drought or half-century plus.
And listen, I think it's a great thing what they did. I think help the team.
I couldn't see, sorry, I couldn't hear you. I mean, the video stopped a little bit. Can you repeat what you said one more time?
No, what Karl Towns going there is going to be good for the team. It's going to be good. Period. Where it's going. I'm seeing how the floor is going to be spaced. It's going to just be so. They're going to be really good offensively, and I mean defensively, they're going to be really good.
Yeah. You want to know what is? You want to know what's not really good? The Cowboys and the Giants. Yeah, the Giants lost to the Cowboys yet again. And yeah, it's one of those cases where if you're a Cowboy fan, take the win, but you're not satisfied with the offensive effort. If you're a Giants fan, you couldn't take advantage of this Dallas Cowboys team that's completely average to begin the year. So, what are your thoughts?
I'm happy. They should win more than 3-4 games. You need to draft a whole new team. It's fine. Listen, the defense is playing. Dexter Lawrence is having a good year as usual. Kayvon's starting to wake up and make plays. Other guys are getting there and make plays. See, you see how the Giants are so unbalanced? I picked them to beat Washington. They lose to Washington. I picked them to lose to the Browns. They beat the Browns. And then they have a game, honestly, against the Cowboys, who I always said they've owned us in the last few contests. They have a game against the Cowboys where you have to win that game. And you let that one slide. So and the Cowboys are not good at all. They're 2-2, and they'll be better than us. Everybody will be better than us. But they're not that good. That defense is not that good.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, we scored 15 points, and I said we should have scored more. We should have actually won that game. There were some throws that Daniel missed too.
Yeah, that pass to Robinson wasn't sitting right with me, and then that throw with that rookie quarterback from LSU, with that rookie receiver from LSU, excuse me. If he had caught that ball when he was going out of bounds, things would have been different. And
you talking about Malik Neighbors?
Malik Neighbors, yeah. He had a good passing outing. I mean, he had good receiving yards. Like these New York Giants, man, you just can't predict anything good. I mean, I know I've been kind of like had my bias towards New York Giants, especially after the Cinderella wins in 07, 2011. But this team is just not it. This team is not good. They had the ability to get down the field. I'll give them that. I mean, they have the ability to get down the field, but they just can't get touchdowns. They just can't.
Listen, it's just look what you just said, and what you said is great and astute. The Giants won the Super Bowl in the 2007 season, where the Super Bowl gets played in the 2008 because it goes into the next year, right? And they won the 2011 season, which with the Super Bowl was in 2012, because of course it gets played in February of the next year. So 2012 was the last time they celebrated the champagne. They had about
Ever since then, they've only had two postseason.
hold on. They had about 3 to 5 years with the Eli Manning, the end of his career years, where they were okay, right? They were serviceable above water. They had some years where Cruz was still there; they were still good. Beckham came along, so I want to say after that, they had about maybe 3 years where they were something. After that, with the end part of Eli and then Daniel Jones, they've been terrible. That's the truth. They've been bad. They went to the postseason 2 times. No.
Ever since the Super Bowl win in 2011, they've been to Super Bowl. They've been to the playoffs only twice and won one playoff game in the Daniel Jones era.
Right. They and through that last of that era that I said with Eli, and then transcending into the other one, and then Daniel Jones. The only 2 times they went to the playoffs was that one time with Eli Manning with Odell Beckham, and that I think that first resurgent year, where
they lost to the Green Bay Packers that year.
They went to Miami the week of the Packers stuff, and they got beat up when they played the Green Bay Packers, and they lost.
Lambeau Field, actually, but yeah.
Yeah, they played the Packers in Lambeau. They lost. They went they didn't go to Miami and play at the Super Bowl. The Victor Cruz, Odell Beckham, a couple of the guys all went to party per se. It was kind of the same thing like when Tony Romo was on the Cowboys and they all went to Cabo the week before Mexico or whatever. He went when they were supposed to play the Giants in the divisional round and then they got lost. And there's no direct correlation, but there is a direct correlation where they say that, because he went there to do that and hang out, blah, 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 he wasn't, ready for the game or whatever the case may be, or they didn't play well. Same thing what they did. They had a big playoff game approaching, and they're in South Beach 3-4 days before on boats and yachts. You guys should be worried about the football game. Hence, they go to play the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. They get slapped around, and that the playoff time. And 2 years ago, Rafiq, I've been on the show for you for a few years now, and we do great things. And I've been preaching to you about the NFL from years ago, and you've gotten so much better with your eye and your sense on everything of football. How many times, though, throughout these years, have I looked you in your eyes and said, the Giants are going to lose?
Too many times.
Right? And I'm a Giants fan. And I'm telling you that they have not been good for a long time. They had that playoff year they won 2 seasons ago where they surprised people because they weren't supposed to be that good, right? And now, that year they were 9-6-1. For Jesus Lord, they tied against the Commanders, for crying out loud. And they went to the playoffs. They were just really great and fortunate to play a Minnesota team who had no form of a defense. They could score because it was practically a shootout, but the Giants just outshot them. And they beat the Vikings, and they play the Eagles next week, who are way better than them. And the Eagles beat the brakes off of us. And now, what I learned is, suppose I tell people, sometimes quick success is bad success, because it will really blind you from what you're not good at or what you don't do because you're winning. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a bad metaphor, many things, but it's like if you go outside every day and you go to work too, but you also make money illegally on the side. That's a bad one to say, because 300 people do that, but that's a whole different story. And you make money illegally on the side, and you're outside smiling, having that, and everything is good. But then, boom, the 2 years in, it catches up to you. Now you get caught. So you was living sloppy the whole time, but you were making money. So you're not really paying attention to the fact that I'm really not good at anything, and this is the only thing that I can do to make money, and that's what winning did with us, where they won in the first year under Brian Daboll when they weren't supposed to. Remember, Daboll got there when they were bad. They're still bad. So they win those games, and you think the next season, like, you know what? You think the next season they're gonna be like, you know what? They're gonna be good. You think they're gonna win like 10? I thought they might get 10 wins, maybe 9, 10 wins. No, they fall off the face of the map, and then we see what's going on this year. Like, what's gonna be the promise for them to get the record back to 1-3? I mean 3-3 or 4-3. You tell me what are they gonna gain from being 4-3, Rafi? If it's week 9 and the Giants are 4-3, how does that help them?
It may not help all that much because, well, let's not forget. I mean, you next year, after this, they got to Seattle Seahawks. You picked them to beat Seattle, and then after that, they got to face the Cincinnati Bengals, who struggled to start the season as well, who not doing much better either.
Yeah, we said the same thing about the Cowboys.
So the Giants should get those wins.
Oh, stop it!
I'm just saying, should you picked them to beat the Seattle Seahawks? You picked them.
I picked them by accident too. I said that was going to be a sloppy game.
And then after that, they got the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 0-3. With Joe Burrow being 0-3, you think that's not going to? But then they get the Giants stink. But then they get Dale Jones era the Giants stink on primetime football. I don't know why. The one win he had in his career in primetime football did come against the Commanders. So
the Jets have a better football team. They'll win tomorrow.
You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up with the New York Giants. You just can't.
No, they're bad.
And I know I always told you have faith, but I said it for the simple fact that I kind of said that because I thought you like losing confidence in the New York Giants to build off of the season that they were. But you would just be a realistic historian that you are. As long as you watch the sports, you have to learn to be realistic for once.
Yeah, you got to play. They're good, and they are supposed to win that game Thursday, and they can't even do that. So what are they gonna do?
They're gonna have to tank to try to get a better quarterback. I mean, it's a good quarterback in college football that are good. Have you been watching it?
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys that are really, really good, and this would be their time in the year for them to draft a kid that they like. They don't have to pay Jones after this year. He got the majority of his money. And slowly but surely continue to build and add on more to that offensive line with all the draft picks afterwards. You got a defensive coordinator that's making guys play and fly around. So you always will have add little pieces you can add, and you got guys there. But the strength of what they have to do is continue to work with the offensive line and work on the offensive line and get a quarterback. Because you clearly see he missed the throw to Neighbors. He missed the throw to Rondell Robinson. He just missed some throws, man. Like, and it's so bad because you look at the numbers and numerically it says that he performed well. You understand what I'm saying? And he did all right, Papa. And he did per se, but he didn't. And the only result that's important is the loss, and that's what continues to happen with him there. That cloud's gotta. I don't think after this Daniel Jones will ever be a consistent NFL starter on anybody's team. He'll be a good backup quarterback probably for the rest of his career. He'll probably have times too where he can go from there, but he just doesn't have that it factor to him. To me, from what I see, and it's time for them to look at one of those young kids. And I told you, look how many teams in the NFL got young quarterbacks performing well. What are we waiting for with Daniel Jones? Well, are we going to believe in him in his 6th year? No, we've seen enough of body evidence. It's not going to work with him here.
Yeah, it's really not. All right. I mean, I know I made the picks with them. Jeff Bagel Trade was on the last episode, but I'm going to make it with you anyway just to make up because we got to know your predictions for the rest of the NFL week 4. Now, let's start off in Atlanta where the Falcons take on the New Orleans Saints. Who you got winning this one?
In New Orleans?
It's in Atlanta.
Who's that? Kirk Cousins at quarterback, Atlanta?
Yeah, I believe so.
What's Atlanta's record?
I think they're 1-2. I think they're
Saints beat them by 10.
they're 1-2.
Yes,
Yeah, the Saints should bounce back after they put up a very strong defensive effort against the Philadelphia Eagles. They should bounce back and get this one.
yes, Saints are winning.
Okay, next up, Los Angeles Rams on the road against Chicago Bears. Take your time. No rush.
You know, I'm gonna go upset. I'm gonna change up things. You gotta change it up. I wish 1 week we gotta do it with spread. But I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go Bears. At home, upset. I'm gonna go Bears. The Bears.
Yeah. Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers host the Minnesota Vikings.
Come back to me on that one.
Pittsburgh Steelers on the road against the Indianapolis Colts.
Pittsburgh.
Denver
Both are playing good. It's not Russell. It's the other guy doing good, right? Justin.
Justin Fields.
Pittsburgh.
Denver Broncos on the road against the New York Jets.
The Jets are winning. Stop it. Stop it. The Jets are winning. Stop.
I'm rooting for the Jets to win this one too.
What you got it now? The Denver what? The Denver Broncos?
Oh man. Philadelphia Eagles on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Eagles. Yeah, Eagles gonna win.
Cincinnati Bengals on the road against the Carolina Panthers. Panthers got a big win against the Las Vegas Raiders last week. We can't ignore that.
I'm going on a limb. Cincinnati gets their first win. It's going to be very scary if the Bengals with Joe Burrow are 0-4 for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Jacksonville Jaguars on the road against Houston Texans.
Well, that quarterback down there in Jacksonville is a young kid, right?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. You got Jacksonville winning or it's Houston?
No, I'm gonna go CJ Stroud. I'm gonna go Houston.
All right, that's fair. Washington Commanders on the road against the Arizona Cardinals.
That kid from Arizona just got his first win. Washington. But I really need Arizona to win. But Washington.
Okay. New England Patriots on the road against the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers. The answer is obvious.
Would you stop it? Would you stop?
The answer is obvious. It's 49ers. I know.
Mm-hmm. San Fran.
Cleveland Browns on the road against Las Vegas Raiders.
And before we even pick that, I'll tell you this much though. If San Fran does lose, they have some things to start with. Are they 1-2?
No, San Francisco, they're 1-2.
They cannot go 1. They can't go 1-3. It's going to be a lot of grumblings, a lot of bad newspaper back pages, a lot of people happy that you can recover from 1-3. They can do it. They have the talent, but they're supposed to go to the Super Bowl. We do understand, right? Like the Eagles and the Niners are the two best, and the Saints. Well, I'll tell you about them Saints. So yeah, the next one, what you said, that's going to be interesting for San Fran.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cleveland Browns on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. In Vegas, by the way.
Oh, Vegas.
Kansas City Chiefs on the road against Los Angeles Chargers.
Kansas City undefeated?
Yeah, they are 3-0.
San Diego 2-1.
Yeah.
Hmm. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't make this pick, but I'm gonna. I wish this had a spread. I'm gonna go Justin Hubert and the Chargers. You know, I never bet against Patrick Mahomes. Very, very, very slim. But I mean, they're gonna have to lose sometime through this season. So let's say the Chargers get him with an upset this week. Justin Hubert goes out there and plays a phenomenal quarterback football game.
Yeah. All right. Buffalo Bills on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. Let's just hope Lamar Jackson builds off of that win against the Cowboys.
I'm gonna say Ravens give Buffalo their first loss.
Yeah. Okay. Now we get to the Monday Night Football game. It's Tennessee Titans on the road against the Miami Dolphins.
Tennessee, I guess.
Seattle Seahawks on the road against the Detroit Lions.
Oh, the Lions. Slapping them around. They're gonna slap the hell out of Seattle.
Yeah. Yeah, you got an interesting point. All right. Now let's get to some WNBA talk as yeah, I mean, obviously you have to ask Jerry go tell you thoughts into the last episode, but there's a lot of topics going on in WNBA in terms of the Alyssa Thomas gave a post-game speech saying that the media and the fans should treat the players with respect because there's been a lot of racial discrimination and homophobia going on in the WNBA. So I want to get your thoughts on that if you paid attention to it.
I missed one. Green Bay, Minnesota. I think I'll just pick Green Bay by the heck of my hat, but I think Minnesota's the better team.
Okay.
But,
okay.
I've seen it. You know what, Rafiq, I'm gonna let them open up on that topic a little bit more because I believe there's a lot of truth to it. Yeah, well, you can clearly see it with things. But the person who brought it up was the right thing. I guess he brought it up. No, he brought it up in the word right, but man, it's excuse my French. I'm not even gonna. It's just a crappy time for that idea to come out. I'm saying because while we can't focus on the WNBA playoffs and the girls and the players, you know what I'm saying, that are going on and competing now. I'm going to be listening to Caitlin Clark and it's my girlfriend Angel Reese. They're going to have a podcast together, and I mean, there might be true, like I said, stuff to that with how the fans and how people are moving. People, fans say a lot of crazy stuff. There's limits and lines definitely because you can get kicked out of games and stuff. I've seen it happen before, but
a fan got escorted from the Indiana Fever Connecticut Sun game last week.
Yeah, but it's just a tough topic, and it's hard to talk about. But I've seen it happen. I remember a few years ago, me and my lady, we went to Philadelphia in December. We thought we were crazy. We went on like a winter a getaway. So we drove the car to Philly, at a nice hotel, and when it was the next day, she wanted to go to there was stuff like going on because like out the hotel room, like you could see Penn and the Rocky Monument and the museum down there, and everything was down. It was just a very nice area, and they had like this thing like you see how we have at Bryant Park, how Bryant Park looks. It was like one of those with like a huge winter wonderland freak. And man, they had like outside huts selling hot chocolate and coffee and different toys and candies and different stands and clothing shops. Food, everything. It was just like a literally winter wonderland. I thought, what was that movie with all the kids and the winter stuff? I thought there was snow rolling around me and like little elves and everybody. It was crazy that day. Very, very nice festive feeling. She sees the train in Philadelphia. She's like, oh, I want to ride the train. I said, what you want to ride the train for? Just like New York. It smell like pee. You're going to see a rat or roach. Somebody crazy on me on the train. Welcome to the train. She wanted to take the train. We go on the train. And the line that we took, see, the Philadelphia, of course, once you're familiar with New York, is different. But everything is, our stuff is not going to seem confusing because we learned it. But it's tough once you go any other place to travel. The train line we took, the last stop we took it to, when we come out of it, guess where it leaves us? In the sports complex of Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. So when we come out, it's Lincoln Financial Field. I don't know if they changed the name, but Lincoln Financial Field where the Phillies play. The Sixers play right there, which I think is still the Wells Fargo Center. And the Eagles. It's all right there.
Yeah.
All in the same, like there. So now, that night, we were supposed to go to watch the Sixers play. The Sixers play the Wizards. We go down there, and there's a bunch of people coming out. And it just so happened at this year time, this is when I met Erin I didn't meet Erin from Ball Journal. She was going to that game too. Now I called her I called her actually when I was in the parking lot because I know she's like a big Kansas jock. So I know she would travel anywhere to see the game or either do media for it. When I happen to call her now, she's like, yeah, I'm going down there. I'm going to go into the game. I'm like, wow, I'm going in the game now too. We just bought tickets. Never planned to go. So we go watch Kansas versus Villanova. Villanova upsets Kansas. Kansas was number 1 at that time in the country. Villanova gets a big win.
Yeah, I remember you did go. I remember you told me a story about you and about you guys went down there towards Kansas, barely lose to Villanova.
Right. So it was so crazy because, she's a big Kansas fan, but, Erin is from Pennsylvania. Was raised in Pennsylvania, but she was just born in it. She spent a lot of time in Kansas City as well, too. Nevertheless, that night, we go to the Sixers Wizards game, and this is when Isaiah Thomas, little IT, was on the Wizards. Something happened. So a person says something. Isaiah Thomas went into the stand. And I think IT might have got kicked out, but the person got kicked out too because the guy said it did something really bad, I guess, whatever, derogatory. So I see that it happens and it can happen. And it's just bad for the sport. People, y'all, listen, I'll say this in general. Go to a basketball game, talk about the players' game, talk about if they stink, if they can't play. Even if you want to make like little, there's a way to heckle and joke and talk bad about a guy person with a stats or whatever without it getting derogatory or super interpersonal. You know what I'm saying? As long as you keep it about the heckling of the basketball game and it don't go to no different lines, we're talking about some like family or whatever the case. Well, we know stuff that are not cool topics to talk about. That's when it could get nasty. But the fans that are coming there with that type of energy, I just need to shut your mouths about that and talk about the game, or or stay in your house and do that crap. But don't let it take away from Caitlin, from Reese, all these really, and it's not just about them. There's a lot of good players in the WNBA. Why are we not talking about the Liberty doing well? The Ace is probably going back to back. We talking about this issue now. That's not the bad. We had to talk. But why did they have to bring that up?
Exactly.
So but those fans that are doing that need to cut it out. It's disgusting. Stop. Don't do it. Leave it alone.
Talk about Caitlin Clark. I've seen stories and videos about that. I mean, I only listened to it for like 2 seconds and just keep going because just remind the fact that y'all can't even remind the fact that Caitlin Clark's in the league. Like, and then she turned the Indiana Fever around. They may have gotten swept at the end, but the fact of the matter is Caitlin Clark turned the Indiana Fever franchise around.
They won -5 games last year. They won -5. -5. She came there, made a remarkable impact, and remember, it's scary. Like the games, the women's game getting scary because Aja Wilson is the best player in the NBA, in the WNBA, and she might be the best player for a little while because she's damn good, right? Let's suppose the Liberty win the championship this year. Aja's still the best player in the world, right? But Caitlin, for what she's doing, is quite impressive. She came to the WNBA. She got a lot of flack for that at first. People were upset that she, I guess, was anointed the golden child. So they had her comments about her, and they beat her up physically. I mean, they beat the crap out of her. They beat the crap out of the girl. And listen, that's only a little slim little white girl from Iowa. She only about 7 pounds. They was beating the crap out of her. And she kept coming back, and she kept coming back, and she never gave up. And she never said anything obscene to let anybody get the best of her. She kept doing what she was doing. They started off like 1-7, 1-8, right? They finished like 14-14. I mean, and they went to the playoffs. To me, she's like Sabrina Ionescu on steroids. she really like Sabrina Ionescu on steroids and can shoot from way farther. But then, because remember when Sabrina did come to the Liberty, she gave them some life. She changed something, and then eventually a little postseason happened. And then you add a little things around it. When Sabrina has been awesome in the first. When does that series start?
Starts this Sunday.
Good. What time?
3:00.
Good. If we finish in time, I think I should go sit down somewhere and watch it. I want them to win this series so bad. You don't even understand, Rafiq. I don't even want to talk about it. I want them to win so bad.
You're talking to a guy that was at the final series for the Aces of Liberty in the Barclays Center a year ago as a media. You're talking to a guy that actually interviewed the players. You see the interviews, like seriously. And I was at game one of the series of the Atlanta Dream. I mean, Liberty ball movement and the offense look primed to win it this time.
They need to win. I'm not gonna say if they win this series, they need to beat the Aces.
They need to beat the Aces, and they need to win the WNBA championship against either the Minnesota Lynx or the Connecticut Sun. Because
Connecticut dangerous.
Yeah. And the Fisa Collier is not messing around.
I know.
Man, this is gonna get crazy. This playoff run is gonna be ridiculous.
Pretty tough.
And you want to know what else? The other stories, nothing but the sports talk, quick talk. Teresa Witherspoon gets fired from the Chicago Sky.
Ooh.
After 13-27 in one season, Teresa Witherspoon, a Liberty legend, gets fired as a coach. What you thinking about that?
Man, Teaspoon, they don't want you. Come back home, girl. Come home, girl. We can use you. We can use you doing anything in the organization. You already know. You go ahead. Come home. I'm sure Sandy, we could work something out. We could put her on the bench or make her a coach or something. Make her come back home. I think something had to happen. I mean, I know they were 13 and something, but if the organization thought that they were going to be good this year right away, they had to be goddamn stupid. Pardon my French. One season, you don't give a coach an opportunity. 13 and something, that's not an opportunity. That's just getting invited to the party. So something had to happen. It had to be a disagreement amongst with her and some other minds or something. Because every human being is entitled, as a head coach, you entitled to at least 2-3 years. 13-27. Remember, Angel Reese got hurt. She missed about 8-9 games.
Yeah.
They win them games. We might not be talking about nothing. So, hey, to each his own. How about them Yankees?
Yeah. To continue on, the Yankees won the AL East, as I mentioned earlier in the episode with Chet Chetty. The Mets, even though they did lose to the Pittsburgh Pirates yesterday. But they still have a 1-game lead over the Cleveland Indians for the number 1 overall record in the American League. That could change how far the Yankees go in this playoffs.
Yeah, we're up 1 game on the Guardians, I think. Crap,
For the
1 game.
For the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah, so Yankees just gotta, hopefully they can just get it. It's hard because they don't need to do anything with these next games. But you know what? I'm bugging. If they win today, they get the number 1 seed.
Yes, they do.
Did Cleveland win yesterday?
No, they lost to Houston Astros 5-2.
Damn, New York, what the hell's their problem? If they won today, if they won yesterday, they clinched.
Yeah.
Top of the morning. If they'd have won yesterday, they would have clinched, right? Because that would have gave a 2-game lead with exactly 2 games left, and I believe they had the breaker over Cleveland.
Yeah.
God damn it, New York!
But don't worry about it. You got the next 2 games against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Pirates are not that good. They're gonna win the series. Trust me.
They need to win today.
Yes, they do. Okay. Next up, the New York Mets. They lost to the Milwaukee Brewers, but they got some progress because the Arizona Diamondbacks did lose at home to the San Diego Padres, and they're literally percentage points, and the Mets are literally percentage points. The top of the Atlanta Braves, but the literally percentage points of the Diamondbacks for the last 2 wildcard spots. And once they're done with the 2 games against Milwaukee Brewers, they have that makeup doubleheader with the Atlanta Braves. So, yeah. How you see is playing out with the New York Mets?
Brother, listen to me very carefully. I'm more than wholeheartedly. I expect the Mets to make the playoffs. Without a doubt. They should just win today. But let's also take into consideration their best pitchers. Stenga is out for the year. McNeil is out for the year. Francisco Lindor has missed the last 8 to 9 games. The catcher got hurt last night, Alvarez. 4 guys. Best pitcher, best catcher calling a game, and he can hit as well too. 25 home runs last year as a rookie. Jeff McNeil, your best outfielder utility player, out for season. And Francisco Lindor, your best player this season. And that's 8-9 games nowhere. If these son of a guns lose the next 4 games, I want 30 minutes of a Mets conversation, and I will make sure that show gets to go viral. I'm going to send it to SNY. I'm going to send it to Patrick. I'm going to send it to everybody in the history of Mets life. They better not lose the next 4 games.
We got to go into live with that one if that's the case.
They better not lose the next 4 games. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. And now this episode, Nothing But That Sports Talk. I think we'll stop by Ryan Walker for this emergency episode of Nothing But That Sports Talk because, this is literally insane. Love the shirts. New York Knicks, they pull the rabbit out their hat. The Mets are in a nerve-wracking NL wildcard chase with the Diamondbacks and the Braves. Hopefully they get in. It's still possible if the Diamondbacks lose the rest of their games, but let's just see what happens. The Mets have to win something. They have to win something for the end.
Just win the day and just end it. So you know that you're going to go.
When the 2 break games got postponed to Monday, they call it lucky break. Let's just take advantage of it. If that doesn't become a doubleheader on Monday, the Mets probably would have missed the playoffs the way they've been playing. Because they look shaky on this past week.
If they lose the next 2, minimum. If they lose the next 2 against Milwaukee today and tomorrow, and if the Mets, if Braves even win 1 and Diamondbacks win 1, they're already 1 up. And then now you're going to put the pressure to play the Braves, who the Braves have always in the history of life always beat the Mets when it counts at the end of the year to end their dreams. Do you know how cold it'll be in Queens?
And let's not forget the Braves. They beat the Astros a few years ago to win the World Series. We can't
Correct.
in 2021, I believe. Yeah.
You know what your chink says. God bless. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Chink, he was at an event Slayton Street Park.
Yeah, for the kill.
Yeah.
Him and Ross Lam and them. Brooklyn, Vietnam.
Yeah, Nesquik, good job with that one.
One sessions.
And I'll do with this episode not to put that sports stuff for real this time.
Hold on, Rafiq, one more time. So sorry, you're gonna make you do it again. Oh God, so sorry. Everything for Chris Day tomorrow. So sorry. Young man who passed away, Brooklyn kid who's very good. I'm gonna send you more of his info. You know about him. Gun violence was done to him about, I think, 2-3 years back now. And they do the tournament every year for him, everything for Chris in Brooklyn in the park. I'll send you the info. Really good kid when he was around, from what I get from Zach and all the people around him. Zach loved him so much. When he builds things up, he always will tear up for the kid. His family comes out. There's a lot of vendors and stuff. Really good thing. They have the Pro-Am division. They'll have the guys doing it's a one-day tournament. The high school, they'll have the middle school. It would be a lot of 3-on-3s and 4-on-4s. Pro-Am thing it's going to be really cool. So it's a one-day thing tomorrow in Brooklyn. I forgot the name of that park. What it says, 69. I don't know. I got the address, but it's everything for Chris. 84C Day. Very good basketball. Very good vibes. I have a lot of guest speakers. A lot of very important people. Last year we met Scary Jones there from the New York Knicks. So it'll be very, very very, very cool event. And for a young man, and we got to do better in our community. We got to unnecessary killings, gun violence. We got to. We got to do better because we're losing a lot of basketball players. We're losing a lot of people and men and fathers and young men in general for, stuff that's unfortunate. You should see how his family and friends and the community culture just still gravitate around him. You would have thought he was still here. So we'll be there tomorrow. God bless. And thank you for giving us a platform. And I'm sorry, Rafiq ended and wrap up the show from there. If you're around and free and available, don't be afraid to come around. It's in Brooklyn. Food and everything. It's a really nice event.
Yeah, I mean, a shout out to you for doing that. Listen, I had a friend that lost his life due to gun violence in like a month before the end of my high school senior year. I know how you feel. I know how they feel.
Yeah, it's nasty, bro.
It's not a good look. All right. For Ryan Walker, Rafiq Luzon. We'll see you next time.
Voice the Long Island.